Ever since the Secret Invasion season finale, the internet has been abuzz. Everyone wants to know, when was Rhodey switched? With theories ranging from the highly plausible to the outright fantastical.
I wasn't always like this.
Me either.
But in the midst of all that ruckus, we forgot something. The OTHER Skrull. Welcome to the review desk. I'm Desmond Carrick, and today, the spotlight's on Agent Everett Ross. Agent Ross, no relation to Thunderbolt Ross by the way, first appeared in Captain America Civil War, the same film that some purport Rhodey was switched in. He's built up a relationship with the Wakandan royal family, a relationship that ultimately got him arrested by his ex-wife, Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. That's the last time I'm saying her name in full. This arrest took place in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Bow, please.
It's Director de Fontaine.
Now, I've done a video on where Rhodey might have been switched, but Ross has far fewer appearances in the MCU, which makes it a bit trickier. But let's try to break it down. It's been established in Secret Invasion that Gravik's plan was to replace individuals close to those in power. Ross's case is the same as Rhodey's. They're both high-ranking officials with good track records and tied to powerful players. While Rhodey was still an Air Force pilot and part-time war machine in Civil War, Ross was a former Air Force pilot, former CIA, and commander of the Joint Terrorism Task Force, which would oversee the Avengers after the Sokovia Accords had been ratified. So he'd make an excellent target for switching. The question remains, when did this happen? For starters, we can establish that it's not in Black Panther. That took place in 2018, long before Fury left for Saber, which means it must have happened after the blip. It's unclear if Ross himself blipped. The only time we see him after Hulk brought everyone back was in 2022's Wakanda Forever, which is set in 2025 in the MCU, 2 years after Endgame. Ross is still working for the CIA, and feeding intel to the Wakandans gets him arrested. This has me convinced that Ross either somehow escaped or had the charges dropped, because the Skrulls would have no use for an incarcerated asset. However, they did need Ross explicitly for one mission, meeting Agent Prescott. In the first episode of Secret Invasion, we see Ross meet up with CIA Agent Prescott, who has uncovered Gravik's plot to wipe out humanity and lay claim to Earth. Prescott is a very careful individual, and it's obvious Ross is one of the few people he trusts. Even when he suspects Ross of being a Skrull, he immediately attempts to kill him. Now, this still would have required Ross to no longer be in prison. A pro like Prescott would know that Ross can't show up in Russia if he's doing time on Rikers. And yes, they would need to kidnap Ross regardless, because when you're going up against someone as careful as Prescott, you need to be prepared as much as possible. And nothing prepares you more than absorbing entire memories. So when it comes to this one, I think he was replaced after the events in Wakanda Forever. Ross wouldn't be able to get close to the president, but he's exactly who the Skrulls would need to get information out of Prescott, especially if there was someone else he'd shared that information with. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.